in college, I did my thesis over serial killers. And as everyone else, I have a few things that can be biased or potentially racist that I've tried to alleviate from my program, all right? And one of them was that when I studied serial killers, I found out that most of them are Caucasian males and about middle-aged, general age, and very few outside of the Atlanta child murderers were actually melanin dominant black men. I believe Ramirez, the Night Stalker, was actually ethnic also. Most of them were Caucasian, so I kind of took a lot of comfort in that, thinking that perhaps there was a small genetic deal that came with melanin that stopped us from being serial killers. Then just the other day, I heard about the Grim Sleeper. The Grim Sleeper. A gentleman by the name of Lewis Jones, I believe it was. Lewis Jones, that was actually killed. I think he was convicted of 11 women in LA, actually. Black, normally African American hookers was what prostitutes is who he was preying on, all right? And in his house, he was caught through DNA, through his son's DNA, actually, and certain saliva he had left on some of the victims. Now, the fact that these were melanin dominant black hookers, the police seem to do almost nothing about that. You've got a lot of people that were speaking about that you've got a predator that it's doing that, all right? And part of what I learned when I did my thesis was that serial killing is also a type of disease. And one of these individuals comes to light and it gets publicized by the media, it starts like 3 more start their career. So in that way, there's a contagion that goes on. And I was sitting there just a big shock to see, oh man, it's a brother and he's maybe the worst. They found in his house, like they think that maybe he got over 100 women. And they can't prove them all, but he had just pictures of 180 women. A lot of them that have disappeared. It's horrible. And when I start saying this is a prison planet, I look at a brother that has no light in his eyes like the other serial killers, all right? I see that this is definitely a prison planet, and thank God we've got angelics and creative geniuses walking down here also trying to shine the light. So I'm calling for the light. I'm talking for the light right now for the people that are the other side of this angelic faction, this creative genius side, because the other side of this is horrible. We've got a lot of beings that incarnate here just like you and I, that are walking around here that they can dodge the few laws we have and do carnage, do pure carnage. So there's some of us that aren't like that, thank goodness, thank God. Anyway, I won't go on about that, but I want to talk about maybe how serial killing is definitely a disease, just like what I was taught in college, all right? And how we have some of this goes in the demonic factor, way beyond just simple, genetically I've got some brain chemistry that's wrong, so I'm murdering a bunch of people. This goes way beyond that. This is horrible. So, in that way I'm saying this is a dangerous, dangerous place to live, period. So God bless to all. Gosh, I feel like this has been kind of a downer. I'm sorry. But anyway, I wanted to deal with that, just some of the reality of that, because I was shocked to find once again to get slapped like when I had to admit that I've seen Caucasian extraterrestrials of some type, or enough I had to eat crow on that. Let me eat some crow on saying I thought there were no black serial killers either. So I was wrong. We all have to live and learn. Peace to you all.